just finished all of the single crochet and attaching everything in the one direction. So when I look at the vertical, none of the verticals going up and down are actually attached to each other. So now that's my next step. So we're just going to rotate the material just like so. But what I want to do before I go any further is I want to flip this upside down and give you a glimpse of what the other side currently looks like. Because even though you kind of see the window pane idea on this side, the other side is actually going to be really nice and probably the side that will be the showpiece of this particular Afghan. So let's begin to flip. So you can see on this side of the Afghan, you don't even really see the white paint in between. It's nice and beautiful, but you can actually see where the white is joining in between, but it's not really a big deal because the white is also complementary in the center of the circle. So one side, this side kind of looks like it's almost quilted in a way, but once we get the other direction going, you actually might be able to see this side kind of puffing out a bit and being really even more stunning than it currently is right now. So now I want to begin fastening all the squares that are loose, as you can see, and I want to fasten it into this direction. But it's not the same as what we just did going this way. Because this now is raised, we actually have to be careful every time we join in between that we're not just doubling up on that so that it causes this to be really an excessive bulge. So what we're going to do is just start off the edge just the same way, but every time we get to these particular seams, that we just want to do something really quick and easily and special so it jumps over and then recatches again on the other side. So let's get going and show you. So what I want you to do is create a slip knot, keeping a generous tail like you did before, so wrapping around your finger twice, taking the back over the forward, and then back up and push up. And we have tutorials available on that if you want to see that more slower motion. So let's go to the edge of our blanket, just like so, and just want to sandwich it up. And so stick your hook on the one side, on the underside of the other, and now grabbing the material with the straggler, which is the loose end that I call it, and pulling it through, and then using your finger just like you did before and pulling it up and over. So there's your first single stitch, and now go back into the hole again because we did that with the before, and now just grabbing the material, pulling it through, and now single crochet as normal. And it is a kind of little bit tough always in the beginning because you got excessive material going around the hook that it's kind of a little bit tricky to pull through, but you will be able to do it if you just got to give it a little bit of patience and just don't try to reef it through. So just work your way through there. I'll probably have to fast forward because I keep losing my my grip. But if it becomes loose at all, this stitch, we can always pull it tight after we pull it through. So there's your second one through, and now we just want to match. Now put that straggler piece that's left on the top so that it goes over top, and now let's match back and forth again. So just doing the exact same thing as you did before. So let's bring the camera closer, and I'm just going to work my way through it just like I did, and when we get to the first seam, I'll show you what you need to do when you need to jump over it. And just like before, even though you're going in this direction, because you've already fastened it with the other seams that you can see, there really is holding into the spot. So really you can almost sandwich these together and be confident that when you're sandwiching it together that the stitches are actually aligning. But do double check anyway, but it does get very simple as you're going along. So this is the gap, and one only for the gap, and then back into the set of 3. You could have actually done a slip knot kind of formation as well, a slip stitch as they would say, and to do this as well. Then you wouldn't have such a big groove, but I don't mind it. I think it actually gives the blanket some character, and here we go. So we're on our final 3 stitches before coming to the seam. So let's go into the final. And now you don't really want the excessive bulge. So what I want you to do, this is the actual now corner, matching the corner to corner. And you've already grabbed this corner anyway when you went in the other direction, but let's grab it again, going in this direction only once. Okay? And now what we want to do is is chain 2. So 1 and 2. And that'll give you enough material to get over that bulge, and then grab the corner on the other side in, and the other corner, sandwich it, and pull it together. So in actual fact, what you've done is that you've just chained over and jumped over like a bridge. So every time you get to the seam, just go only into the once, chain 2, and then come into the other side for only 1 as you're working in this direction. So we're now coming up to the very edge, and it's just like before when we were going in the other direction, is that it's just going to be the exact same. So if you don't need to see a replay of that, just keep fast forward through the video. And again, we're just continuing to match as we've come all the way across. The 3 to 3 and then 1 in the gap. So in the very final corner piece, you're going to put in your 2 single crochets like I mentioned before. And so we're now in the corner piece, so 2 single crochets. Okay, and now grabbing your scissors. I always cut up over my hand. I just find that's a good distance for me, right in the middle. And then what I just do is just grab the hook and pull that out, pull it snug, and then count over to the second one over, slip in your hook, grabbing the material, and then just kind of forming a loop around it, pulling it through, and then again let it go and just pull through, and now it kind of fastens and not onto itself. So you just have to continue for the rest of this project, and then where we're going to go next after this is completing the border. So at this point, I've just come across all the way, and now I have the remainder of the blanket to go. So because everything is now assembled in the vertical direction here, and I'm just working my way across, I can take this project back to the couch or wherever I'm more comfortable to crochet. It was just a lot easier to lay it out when we're actually going in one direction to make sure that the pattern stays consistent. So let's get doing that, and our next part is then creating the border around this bad boy.